Welcome to Flosstube number 27. My name is Hanneke if you're new here. And I think for about a year and a half I've now been floss tubing and showing my cross stitch progress. And I usually show a bit of cross stitch and a bit of thrifting, and which is often, well, always cross stitch related, and a bit of my travels. And I have a full floss tube for you today. It will be the last one, regular floss tube anyway, for this calendar year. And then I might do some other kinds of floss tube during my break, but we'll see. So if you're new here, you're very welcome. I hope you enjoy it. If you are recurring, I thank you very much for coming back. I do appreciate that. And it's heartwarming to know and to learn that people are enjoying my content, and they take an interest, and it's a lovely little community, and those people who've watched me before know that I love being part of this community and really appreciate you watching. So thank you very much for that. And as usual, I have a little teacup to show you because I collect teacups, Royal Albert teacups. And I recently counted them, and I have 75 different teacups. And you can see some of it behind me in the stand. It's a 3-tier stand. And so I have 75, which is, yeah, which is a lot, but they are so pretty, and I love having them and collecting them. I get great joy out of it. So this is one, I was so happy to find it very recently because it completes a collection, and this is a collection of 6 cup and saucers, and they are from Country Life series. So they all have a different scene on it. One is with a bunny, for instance. This one is a bird. And they're all very, very pretty. And there's always the golden rim around it. It's just so pretty, isn't it? This is fine bone china. I already poured my tea, so I have to be a little bit careful. Can you see that? Yeah. Isn't that pretty? It's a little bird there. Sorry about the glare. I have to have some light on today because it is a really dark day. And I love it like this. I like dark days because I can turn on my lights and enjoy a cozy day inside. It is a Friday today. I have an extra day off because my sister and I are going to Germany tomorrow. So that will be the weekend, be a full weekend anyway, and I look forward to that. We are going to Düsseldorf, and we are going to Cologne. I think the English is Cologne. Not sure. Anyway, that's where we're going. And we will be visiting the Christmas markets and the cathedral. We hope to visit the cathedral. Probably a bit of shopping, knowing us. We'll go and do some shopping. So yeah, I can't wait actually. I really look forward to that. Anyway, today we are still at home, and I decided to take this day to film a floss tube also because I have a lot to show you. I think my last floss tube was about 4 weeks ago already, so that's quite a bit of stitching that I can show you. A bit of thrifting as well. I went thrifting this morning, so I have a bit to show you there. I have Stitchy Kindness. I have fully finishes. I have a giveaway that I can announce the winner for. I have a new giveaway that I will put somewhere in the video. I have whips. So we have a bit of everything. So it'll be a good hour, I suspect, to do this. So find yourself a cup of tea. Anyway, I thought I would show you my advent calendar. A lot of you have been showing advent calendars, stitchy related, and I love that. I love watching the progress and whatever is in the boxes. But I decided to go for a tea shop, the English tea shop advent calendar, because I thought it was festive and I drink a lot of tea, so why not? And I thought it was so festive. And you have a little box to open every day. and it has a tea bag in it with some fancy tea. And it's quite, you know, it's like festive spice or gingerbread treat or superstar anise. So it's very Christmassy, these teas. And I love this little advent calendar. So if you're wondering next year what to get, consider it a tea advent calendar. Right. Let's start with my fully finish. I'm so proud of this fully finish because it has taken some time. I finished half of it and then I left the other half for a little while because I wasn't sure what to do. But I have finished my sewing box. Now, this is a thrifted, a vintage um, sewing box that I found when I went to a very small brocante market near my house. And it was sold for €14.50, so very cheap. But the wood did look very tired. One of you said, "Why don't you use some beeswax?" Which I did, and the wood is so beautiful now. And I decided to change the fabrics on top of it to cross stitch pieces. And I have now done both sides. And I think this is so, so stunning. I'm so happy with this. This pattern is from a rose band sampler, and I've only done half of it. That's the roses, and I've done that twice. And then the little corner pieces I found somewhere else. I don't even know where I found it. Um, and I think they fit quite nicely. And I am so happy with this. So happy. It's so pretty. And I love stitching roses, so I was flying through it. It's stitched on 20 count natural linen Aida. And it's stitched with one strand of DMC, the called for DMC, and there is one, the darkest green is a gentle art, I think. And I did use the gentle art and loved it, by the way. Very pretty thread. And the funny thing is, I found this exact sewing box on an online marketplace very recently, and it was sold about 20 kilometers away from where my mother lives and my father as well, where my parents live. And I said to my mum, "Do you want one as well?" And she said, "Yes, I do." So she went over and collected that one. So she'll be looking into what she is going to do with the top bits. But yeah, so we have two exactly the same sewing boxes now, which I think is lovely. And I'm so pleased with how this has turned out. I think it is so, and the pattern, let's just celebrate this pattern. It's so pretty. And I love having this in my house. I think it's so, so nice. What I did was I actually finished half of it before, fully finished it, but I've ripped it out again because I was using magnets and I didn't put enough batting underneath it. So it was already getting sort of flat with a slight dent in it, and I felt it wasn't as nice as it could be. So I took it out again, took out the magnets as well, because the magnets lifted it so much that you could almost look underneath it, and it didn't look properly sort of mounted into it, if you will. So I've taken out the magnets and currently it is just held in there with double-sided tape because I want to be able to take it out. And if I want to stitch something else and try something else with it. So now I've used, I think, 2 layers of paper, cardstock, and then I think 4 layers of batting. And then I use double-sided tape to attach it nice and firm. And now it is sort of, there's a slight curve on it, and I think that's how it should be. So I was very pleased about taking it out after all and putting it in here like this. Love, love, love. So I'm very, very proud of myself, and this is one of those pieces that you can just look at with such joy. And the other thing I like about this is that this is a functional piece. I mean, there's a lot of stitching we do that we hang on the wall, but this is a piece I can actually use, and I use every day. It's next to my chair. It has all my stuff in it, so I use it. So yeah, I might make another one in the future if I find another nice one. I have been looking. Um, so yeah, you'll hear about that. So that's that one. That's my first fully finished of the day. The next one is a freebie that I made just at some point. I thought, oh, that's a nice one. I'll make this one. I don't remember who it's from. The Worker Stitcher or something. It is always in my description box, so check my description box. And this is stitched on 20 count Ada with one strand of DMC floss. And this is just a tiny stitch. And this was a trying piece for me because I wanted to see if I could make a pillow with the sewing machine, getting the rick-rack around it. So it is not overly neat. So those of you who are sewers amongst us, look away. Because you might not think this is great. It is there. It is sort of poking out, but when you look at the corners, it's not very neat. So yeah, it has been a bit of a struggle. At the same time, I am quite proud of myself to have been able to finish it. And the colors are nice. So the back is this color and the rickrack is the green. And then I bought that little butterfly, is a pack that I bought from het Gaerenhuysje in Belgium. So yeah, I am very pleased after all with how this turned out. I'm very pleased to having tried the rickrack. I wanted to, and I went to this little sewing shop nearby, and she had all that. And I thought, oh, you know what? I'm just going to try it on this piece. It's a freebie anyway. It's a small piece to stitch. It was fun to stitch. So I am proud of the first try, and hopefully next time it'll be even better. So that's another fully finish. Then I was stitching the Renato Parolin. And last time I said that was a she. It's not a she, it is a he. Someone said it's actually a couple designing these pieces. And oh, I'm not even sure I've got the right one here. I don't know. I'll show this one anyway. There are several ones in this kind of series, and I stitched a third or fourth one. I don't even remember. I've been stitching these quite a lot, and I really like them. I think they're very cute. They're very they're very quiet colors, if you will. So the brown and the white and the green. And the trees in the back, that's all back stitching, and the rest is cross stitch. So it's very cute. And they're all very similar. So sometimes you have sort of different kind of castles or houses or whatnot. Um, and then I put just a piece of paper at the back, so it looks quite finished. And like I said, I've made about 4 of these now, and I do like them. Yeah. I stitched this on 20 count, sort of a darkerish Ada. So there you go. So this might be one that I showed you last time, but they're all pretty similar. So if you're interested, it's Renato Parolin. And then I got back into my Shannon Christine Christmas stitching. I think for Christmas, she is the queen of making cute Christmas patterns. And I think last year, or about a year and a half now, I learned about her designs and I started stitching her Christmas pieces. And this was the first one I made. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. I finished this last year and I think this is one of the most perfect charts for Christmas. This is ultimate Christmas to me. It's the colors, I mean, a lot of you know Shannon Christine, and we know that she uses the colors very nicely. It's the way she moves from light to dark in almost everything. And this is just beautiful. So I made that into a little pillow and have been enjoying this for quite a while. Oh, there's something on there. Sorry about that. There we go. It's an 18 count Ada, this one. I don't know the color. A lot of people have asked me the color, but I don't know. It's very pretty though. So that was the first one I made. Then I thought, let's make more because I enjoy that. So I made this one, the Holly Jolly. I made a lot of changes to this one because on the pattern it has stars instead of snowflakes, and it has Kryneck everywhere. I don't really like stitching with Kryneck, so I've taken all the stars out um, and instead with regular floss, and stitched the snowflakes. And I really like this one. It's very cute. There's another one in this series that I have sort of loaded and ready to go um, to stitch at a later time. So yeah, very pretty, this one. And then I decided, she came out last year with another one, and that's this one. And I thought, oh, that's pretty. So I stitched this piece as well. And as you can see, I try to sort of link them with all using the white snowflakes and using the same color fabric when I make the pillow. So um, you'll have sort of they fit together, if you will. And this is a pattern that she also has a version of in winter colors, so more blue and grayish. But I love the Christmassy one. I think those little snow men and snow woman are very cute. So those three I already had, and I love these. Um, and I thought, let's go on our website and see what else she has this year. And I saw the cutest little bird that she just put out. So I made this little piece, and I did not stitch the full pattern. I decided to just take out the bird and the little branch it is sitting on. And I made that into this cutesy little one. If that ain't cute, I don't know what is. Isn't that pretty? Stitched on an 18 count with 2 strands of floss, called for DMC. Now I posted this on her Facebook group, and it has been liked, I think, over 1,200 times now. So people really enjoyed the pattern, obviously, but also the finish. They liked the finish. And I have never finished anything like this. Um, but I decided I wanted to use uh, to not need anything other than just cardstock, sorry, and batting. So that's what I did. So I had 2 pieces of, actually, I think I had 4 pieces of cardstock, and I have a big shot. So I can just use sort of a metal um, um, die to get a perfectly round shape. And I did that 4 times, glued 2 of them together. So I had 2 pieces basically. And then I used a piece of batting on top of that. And then I put a fabric on one of the pieces and then the stitched piece on the other side, put those together, and then put a little rip-rap around it with glue. So it's very simple. It's very light as well. So I have to be careful with this because this could bend, for instance. But it is so pretty. I loved stitching this. Has lovely Shannon Christine colours, and I have used some of my thrifted anchor threads for this that are very similar to the DMC called for. Isn't that lovely? Very, very pretty. And the rickrack. I'd never made anything with this before. I went, like I said, to that little sewing shop nearby, and I thought I'd love to find something snowy like. And I found this, and I thought it's perfect, perfect. So yeah, very pleased with this. And again, 1,200 likes. That's just ridiculous. So yeah, people have enjoyed this one, and so do I. And then I wasn't done yet, and she came out with some new patterns, and one of them was the hot chocolate season. And I thought, well, there I go. So there you go. It is a finish. And it will be so, it's so fitting with, a piece like this. It'll just go with all the other pillows. I will make it yet into another pillow with the red fabric, so that again it fits into the series of this style. So I know a lot of you have the Prairie School. Is it very Prairie Schoolers, the Santas? And a lot of you say, oh, I have all my colors for those pieces in one bag, and then I can swap colors if I want, but it's always from that series. I have the same with my Shannon Christine stuff. I have a bag of colors that she tends to use, that I use for these pieces. I absolutely love it. It's the shading again. It's the way she does the writing. It's just lovely. So yeah, 18 count Ada, some sort of beige. All of them are some sort of beige, and they are just so pretty, so pretty. So I will do some sewing. Maybe this weekend, maybe during my Christmas holidays, but I will be doing some sewing to get that little one done as well. And then I've got 5 already. There is another one she has that I might want to make as well this year. That is the Christmas barn. I think it's very red and very Christmassy, and I might make that one as well. Sorry, just a sip of tea. Oh, that's nice. Right, let's go into my whips, the and my new starts. I thought I was just going to stitch um, Christmas pieces. And then that's the thing with me and plans. I sort of think I have a plan, which is just Christmas pieces for Christmas or December. And then I don't. I stitch many other things. So I'm not good with plans. Well, I'm not good with plans for cross stitching. This is a freebie. It's a freebie by, I don't know by whom. I don't think it is someone who, I think it's sort of a blogger or flogger who puts out charts here and there. And this was a very cute one. I think it's my home is God's home or something. I'll put it something on the screen so you can see it. I'm changing the colors. I've decided to use some of my fancy floss for this, and I'm just picking what I have. Um, and I have started. Now, I'm not sure about the light blue on the outside, so I might change that. But I am enjoying stitching this piece. It is on a 20 count, one strand of floss, and I'm using variegated. I think it's a lot of gentle art. Very pretty, and a lovely little freebie. I like a freebie when I can find one. So yeah, happy with that. There you go, 20 count. So it is tiny, tiny. But I don't like that. I like stitching 20 count. Then I found I've been stitching on this before. I have the winter basket and I have the spring basket of this series. I also like the autumn basket, but I don't have that one yet. And I have finished one of the winter baskets and I was working on one of the spring baskets. And I put it in my wherever I store my pieces. And I don't know, I didn't think of it for a long time. And when I was looking through it earlier this week, I thought, oh, that's really nice. So, yeah, I decided to stitch on it. And I'm well over halfway now, so it's getting there. It is not a stitch where you can sort of keep going with one color. It's a lot of color changes, but it does come out really nice. I use some of the called for, and I have made some changes. I don't remember why I made the changes. It might have been because that's what I had in stash. And it's fine. It still looks very similar. I haven't made changes to change the color palette. Um, but yeah, very cute. This is stitched on an 18 count with 2 strands of floss. And I try not to pull my threads. I don't think I do it often, just here and there, but I try not to. But that is a bit of a pain because it does mean you have to start and stop your thread quite a lot. But this is very, very pretty. So yeah, I suddenly decided to stitch something spring. How weird is that? But it is very pretty and I like the colors. Then I found as well my landscape by Nikki pattern. And people know that I love Nikki's work. She is one of my favorite designers on Etsy. I make a lot of her art minis, and I also make some of her landscapes. I've made one before, that one was for my sister, and this one I am, as it stands for now, I'm making it for me. And this is also stitched on a this is 16 count, 2 strands of floss. And as you can see, I have done quite a bit on this piece. I was a bit stuck, I think, for a while. I was because it was quite a bit of confetti-ish sort of there, and I somehow didn't get through it very well. And then I think over the weekend or something, I found my flow and I was running through it. And now we get to the area where it's a lot of block stitching. So I might take this in the train with me tomorrow to Düsseldorf. I'm moving into the mountains, so it will bring in the depth of this piece. So yeah, I look forward to that. But this is so pretty, isn't it? I love the colors and I love the way it pulls together very nicely. She is a fantastic designer. So yes, and it's a small piece again. This is 100 by 100. So it's not big at all, and yet it gets such a beautiful result. I use all the called for DMC and have a few color finishes now. I think the pink is finished. So yeah, getting through it. And I'm over halfway now on this one, so that's also very nice. There you go. 16 count Ada. Very happy with this piece. It's a very enjoyable piece. Then I stitched Christmas because it is almost Christmas, and I love the gnomes series from Jardin Privé. And I've made their, was it Olympics? I think the Olympic gnomes. And this is the Christmas gnomes. Now I have made color changes. Their pieces are a little bit more, um, I want to say subdued, it's not the right word, but my colors are brighter, especially the yellow. Um, but I think there's a few other colors that I have changed to what I had in stash at that point, but also because I wanted to brighten it up a little bit. So this is where I am at the moment. So I've done quite a bit, actually quite a bit. I think I've done this little gnome and all of this going down here. So yeah, I've done a good bit of stitching on this, and it is so cute, isn't it cute? And the nice thing about this is you can pick let's call it a motif, and finish it and feel like you've finished something. And that's nice. It's stitched on 18 count, some sort of beige Ada, and it's very, very lovely. It's so cute. Yeah, I love it. I love this little one as well. I love the sort of depth that you get in that greenery. I don't know about all of you, but stitching all the white with Christmas, I do get a bit bored of that now. I've done quite a lot of white in the Renato Parolin, um, and I don't love stitching with whites because the stitches don't come out as nice. We all know that. So yeah, I'd be quite happy if all the white can be off my plate again. But yeah, the result is very nice. And it suits Christmas, doesn't it? Mind you, we haven't had snow for Christmas, I think, for a really long time. So we say this is Christmas, but to be very honest, this is not Christmas in the Netherlands. I'd be stitching rain if I was stitching Christmas in the Netherlands. I love this piece. So yeah, if you want something cute to stitch, and they also have an Easter um, uh, kind, and they have a Olympics, like I said. They have the regular Land of Gnomes. I think they have a Halloween version of it. So yeah, I've got, like I said, I've done the Olympic Gnomes. I'm doing this one now, and then I've also bought Land of Gnomes. So I'll be stitching a few more gnomes in the future. And I don't mind that. I think that's lovely. Another piece I started last time because my mum and I bought this at the fair that we went to in Groningen is Noel by Marjorie Massey, I think her name is. And I bought this at the stand from het Gaerenhuysje from Belgium. And this is stitched on 18 count with 2 strands of fancy floss that is called Schoolhouse Red. And I don't remember whose that is. So if you're interested, just leave a comment and I will get back to you. But this is Schoolhouse Red, that's the name of it. And it's a beautiful deep red. And I'm using 2 strands of floss. So it is, I don't know if you can see that, but it's sort of lying on top of the fabric very nicely. It's stunning. I've ordered some more of the floss because I won't have enough. I think I bought about 3 skeins when I was at the fair. That's all they had. And so I've ordered some more and that will come in, I hope, before Christmas. Um, I don't think I will finish this before Christmas. I don't have to. I will definitely take this in the train with me tomorrow because it's a lovely piece to stitch on the train. Yeah, I love this. I think it's very, very pretty. It's very simple, yet it has a great effect. You can see a bit of the variegation. It just gives a beautiful, I was going to say deepness. Don't know if that's a word to the red. And I love stitching this. Love it. I love that block. I think it's very, very pretty. And those letters are fun to do. I think I swapped this one out. She has, I think, 4 substitute blocks that you could do. Probably if you don't want to stitch the Noel, you could stitch the other blocks. And I am stitching the Noel, but I took another border because I liked this border very much. So yeah, very, very pretty. It does take a lot of floss though. If you go for this, for instance, it takes a lot of floss. Very pretty. I see the variegation very well on the screen now. You see it better on the screen than in real life, I think. Very pretty piece. Why don't I do my giveaway? I showed you this Zweigart Belfast linen misty blue 32 count and asked all of you to put a the word I think misty in the comments. And this is thrifted again. I paid €2 for it. I don't know how long this has been in the package for. I don't know if it has those folding marks on it. So that's all a surprise for the person who receives this. The person who receives this is Annelies, uh, I think Thierry 911. So Annelies, you have won this. You've been a viewer, I think, for a long time. So I'm very pleased this is going to you as a little thank you for watching. And I hope you will find something lovely to stitch on this. It's a lovely blue, and it looks like a good quality piece of linen. I know nothing about linen. Remember, I don't stitch on linen, but it looks like a good piece of fabric. It's from the Stitch Company, which I think is usually good quality stuff. It doesn't focus properly, does it? There you go. So Annelies, please get in touch with me. In my description box, there will be my email address, and you can send me an email with your postal address, and I will mail this to you as soon as I get the chance to. I will do another giveaway in a minute. I started another one, and the next one I started was another one my mum and I bought when we were at the fair, and I had a vision in my head, and I thought this is how I'm going to do it. And the idea was to because it's a mostly green pattern by UB Design, and a lot of you said, "Oh, I like that one," and so do I. So I thought I'm going to start it. I'm going to start it on 20 count, and I went for the natural linen look, Ada. And then I realized that they have a green charted that I don't really know where to get that in the Netherlands, and I decided I could quite easily substitute it with a few colors of green from DMC, so I did that. Then I thought that's a bit dark on this fabric, so I add in a bit of red, and this is where I am at the moment. So I've started it, and I am not sure. I am not sure. Let's leave it at that. I love this pattern, by the way. It's a lovely pattern to stitch, and it has a lovely result. But I'm not sure about the fabric. I'm wondering whether I would rather have a fabric like sort of like this that doesn't have that natural look. Um, I'm happy with a 20 count, so that's okay. I am wondering whether I could use the dark green gentle art that I was using in my sewing box roses. Because this is normal DMC, I'm using 3 shades of green in here. And somehow it misses the depth that I see on the pattern or something. I'm not sure about it. I added in the red because I thought that could brighten it up again a little bit. And I sort of like it, um, but I don't know. So I stopped stitching it, uh, I think a week and a half ago, thinking I have to think on this piece, think about what I want. And maybe I restart it, and maybe I'll continue. So I'm asking all of you, what do you think? Or maybe you have a completely different idea that might be even better. So just let me know. Again, the pattern is lovely. Um, it's easy, it's quite quick stitching. So yeah, I wouldn't mind starting over. That'd be fine. I have to say it looks a bit lighter on the screen than it does in person. In person it looks a bit darker. And yeah, I like I said, I'm just not sure about it. Also considering I think the piece itself with all the green looks quite classy. And yeah, I think maybe it's the red, and with this fabric, I don't get the classy feel. This looks more like Nordic, and I'm not saying that Nordic isn't classy. It could be, but yeah, it's a very different feel I get from this now. Anyway, let me know what you think, and I will consider it because I will stitch this piece. Maybe not on this fabric, maybe not with these threads and colors, but I will stitch that piece at one point. I'm swapping boards. I bought this morning, so I have this board for the little ones, and then I have a big one for all my big stitches. So we are moving into the big stitches. This is Moonlit Garden by Kathy from Gracewood Stitches. I have stitched on this quite a bit lately. I love this piece. I think about 2 weeks ago I put it away and haven't stitched on it since. So it is a piece that sort of comes out and then I do a lot and then it goes back um, in storage for a little while longer. But I have started the middle row and I wanted to show you that anyway. So I stitched the border on this side, started the middle motif and then decided to just run this over. I love this piece. Love it, love it. Not yet halfway, but am getting there. It is the middle row after all. And it's a lot of stitching again. It's very similar to this row here. So it's a lot of stitching, difficult stitching. It's difficult to find the stitch path, as one of you once wrote. Um, so yeah, it'll take some time, that middle row. That's okay. I stitched this with soie d'Angers, one strand on an 18 count Ada that looks very much like that misty blue linen that I've just given away to Anneliese. Love this. Love this. Someone pointed out that I say lovely a lot. I'm sorry about that. I like the word. I do say it a lot. But then a lot of stitching is lovely, so it is what it is. I don't know when I'll be stitching on this one again. It might go back in for a little while now, but we'll see. We shall see. I've also stitched on my landmarks again. That was another piece I planned not to take out again until January. And then I think 2 days ago in the morning, I woke up and I thought I want to do landmark. So that's what I did. And I have only finished half of the landmark, so I won't show it until next time. But yeah, that's another piece that I love. My landmarks. I'm stitching Waterloo in Belgium. So yeah, that's lovely. This is 48 tiles. And 48 tiles is a piece by Atelier Tiffany on Etsy. And it is very, very good for my soul if I need to order my thoughts. Because this is quite symmetrical and linear. And, it's just good for my soul. That's what this is. I stitched this with one color. I think it is 732, which is a very nice green. And then for the red little squares, I use 777. And this is on a 20 count Ada. And I use 2 strands of floss. So this is also a piece very similar to the red piece with Noel on it. The stitches lie very nicely on top of it. Because 2 strands of floss on an 18 count is not necessary, I think, but it does give very beautiful texture. And especially with this one, that's just suits it perfectly. Every square is different. And yeah, I've done 5 of the squares since the last time I've showed it. So that's quite good going. And it's easy stitching. It's just lovely. So 48 tiles in total. And I have done these. I think this is 18. Is it 18? Yeah, 18 squares. So 30 to go, basically. But yeah, I love this. Love this. And it's very simple. And I think the pattern itself is charted in red. I decided to go for green because, as you can see, my house is a lot of green. And I like green. I think green is a lovely color. And also I think because I thrift floss regularly, I think I had a packet with a lot of 3732, and I thought, why not just use that? Got plenty of that, so I love it. It looks a bit like that Japanese style of stitching. It's just lovely. It's very, very nice. And this little needle minder was a gift from Margaret. I still appreciate that. Then one of you reminded me of my piece Pastoral. And I thought, oh, yes, I have that one. It's my birthday start. And I thought I should stitch on that again. Not Christmassy at all. But I got it out and started stitching. This is a beautiful piece. It's not big. It's smaller than I thought. Goes quicker than I thought it would. And I've mainly been stitching on these flowers here and then this rose and the flowers there. And the only thing about this piece that it's a lot of changing colors. So I have to be in the mood for this because I can only stitch some stitches and then I have to change colors. There's a mistake in this little one. I've decided to leave it in and I just have to remember when I'm on the other side to make the same mistake. And then it's symmetrical because the piece is symmetrical. This is stitched on 18 count Aida with 2 strands of floss. It's very pretty, very pretty. But like I said, all the changing of colors can be a bit of a pain here and there. So I only stitch on this when I really am in the mood for that and have a bit of time as well to properly sit for it and spend my brain power on this. It's a lovely piece. It's quite an old piece. And that reminds me, I've started charting the piece that I'm going to reproduce from the Fraeylemaborg, and it's lovely. I'm just struggling a bit with colors, and I think what is the hardest part of doing that is that the piece is old. It's over 200 years, so the pictures I've made of that piece show that the stitching here and there is slightly discolored. So I'm not sure whether that's a different color floss or whether it's the same color floss, but it has just discolored. I think that's the hardest part in doing this. And I've never done a reproduction before. This is very new. But it's great fun. I love looking for the right colors and charting it is not difficult. But choosing the right colors is. So that's where the challenge is, I guess. But I've done, I think, a fifth, maybe a bit more of that. Now the big um, sort of red orangey salmony flower I've done, and then some of the other flowers around it. So I think the main difficulty is the green. There's a lot of different greens in it, and that's a bit of a struggle. But yeah, I'm loving the process. I'm really loving the process, and I'm quite confident that I can do a big chunk of that during the Christmas holidays, and can start stitching as well. So yeah, I've got the fabric. Uh, already. It's going to go on an ivory Ada 20 count. And one of you said it'd be lovely on linen. I so agree with you, but I don't stitch on linen. So hopefully in the future, one of you can stitch it on linen, and we can have the pictures of that. So yeah, I'm working on that. It is an absolutely lovely process, and it is also a learning curve again to work with the colors. And I don't. I like working with colors. Um, a lot of you compliment me on my color use, so I don't find it difficult to look for colors that match. I think it's more because I do want to do justice to the piece, so I'm trying to get the right color in the right place. And like I said, because it is old, it sometimes is a bit difficult to see what color it's supposed to be. But yeah, we'll get there, I'm sure. Anyway, that's a bit of a deviation. This is the piece I was showing you, and this is very pretty. And this is my birthday piece, like I said. So the aim is to finish this for my next birthday, which is quite a while away. So don't worry, I have a bit to go. But like I said, it's not big. It's long that way. But this is the top of it already. So yeah, not too bad. Happy with that. Takes a lot of colors, by the way. So it has a big bag of floss attached to it. And then one of my other pride and joys, Moon Deer. Oh, I love this piece. Let me just have a sip of tea. This piece is stunning. By the way, this is from our Forest Embroidery, and they have just put out a wreath for Christmas with birds on it. Oh, and it was, you sometimes see a piece and you think, oh, yeah, I'm doing that one. I'm gonna do that one when this one is finished. But yeah, I'll stick to this one first, and I'm doing another one of this as well. Um, but I haven't stitched on that one because that one is very summery. This one is very autumny, wintry colors, so this feels right still. This is, you can still see the full piece, only just. This is stitched on 20 count ivory Ada, and I have finished the amulet here, and the other bird, and that bit of the border. So those birds are absolutely stunning. They use three of the colors. So um, I use a substitute of Weeks Dye Works. I decided I did not want to go for their own thread, but rather just buy the digital pattern with a substitute of colors that I picked myself. So that's a Weeks Dye Works. It's majestic purple, driftwood, and then whiskey for the slightly yellow pieces, and then bullfrog for the green. So these birds use bullfrog in the middle, then a bit of driftwood on next to the bullfrog, and then it finishes with a whiskey, the yellowish, and it gives such a beautiful glow to those birds. I just love those. Love those. There's another bird coming, and a lot of the purple flowers. So yeah, I've got plenty of beautiful stitching to go on this one, but this piece, so beautiful. You could, if you'd be, you know, if you don't want to continue stitching it, you could just put a row in here and leave it at that. You could even decide to put this lower one up there and it'd be finished. It'd be beautiful. You don't need the um, purple flowery section. But I love flowers, so I'm gonna put in all the flowers. And I'd love to stitch with the purple a bit more because I have the purple obviously, and you see it a bit darker than I have it here. It's lighter in real life. The purple is in the flowers here and a bit in the amulets. But that's it. That's all the purple I've used so far. The rest is a lot of driftwood, a bit less whiskey, and then the greens, again, only in the flowers and in the birds. So it's a lot of driftwood that I've been using. Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? This piece will be framed. I've said it a million times. It will be framed when it's finished. And I look forward to having this finished and hanging in my house. I keep thinking it has to go on that pillar there. Sorry, I can't, that one. Beautiful there. There. And that deer. Yeah. So this is a stunning piece. I can only, if you want to stitch something that is just so artsy and pretty, then our Forest Embroidery has a lot of stunning pieces. Like I said, I'm stitching two of those. I'm stitching this one and at the end of summer. Also with specialty flosses. And like I said, I have looked at that wreath and thought, yeah, I need to make that one as well. So that'll be my next one. I probably have to live till I am 200 to stitch everything I want to stitch. Oh well. Right. Stitchy kindness, thrifting. Let's do stitchy kindness first. Linda, I think Linda is from. Oh, I wrote it down. What was it? Somewhere in the UK. I'm sorry, I've forgotten. It was in the card. I've forgotten. But thank you very much, Linda. This was too kind and so much fun to receive. And it is so kind when people think of me when they when they send out a package. You didn't have to, but it warms my heart, and I'm very, very touched by the kindness. So the first thing I received was this pattern booklet. And first of all, there's flowers in there, which I love flowers, and I really like that one. I think that one is so stunning. Has a lot of back stitching, but I really like how this one comes out. And then the other patterns in this are more teacups. And I received in a previous um, kindness post from a fellow Dutch lady. This one. So now I have even more teacups. And is it from the same? Yeah, cross my heart. Cross my heart and leisure art. So they're probably from different designers. And these ones are teacups. And these ones have some sort of doily underneath them. So yeah, isn't that pretty? Yeah, I love these. They're very cute. It is again similar to this one, a lot of backstitch. I'm not the greatest fan of backstitching, so we'll have to see what I will do with that. Maybe I can stitch them without the backstitching. I'll just have to see how they come out. But yeah, this is, I mean, I always show that teacup, so it's so thoughtful. And I stitch a lot of flowers, so again, that one I think is stunning. Very, very pretty. So thank you very much for that. But that was not even half of the gift. The other thing she sent me was this thing. And this is a table runner by Rico Design. I have made a Christmas tablecloth by Rico Design. And I've shown that on my Flosstube. And it's very pretty. I've finished it recently and I will take it with me to Groningen when I celebrate Christmas there. And we will use that tablecloth. And no one can spill anything on it. So that's going to be a difficult dinner. Anyway, this is what she sent me. It's a beautiful beige and it has a beautiful finish to the fabric on the sides. And then in the middle, it has the Ada strip. This is all beautifully I don't know, it just has a beautiful little, I hope you can see it, motif to it. And then this is the Ada strip in the middle. And it's a very nice length. It's just a very pretty, and I know that Rico Design is excellent quality when it comes to these tablecloths and table runners and stuff like that. And she said to me in the card that she sent as well, she said, "Well, you showed one on the Flosstube, and it might be perfect for that one." So I showed you this one. And this is a design also by Rico Design, and it would fit perfectly on this one. The only thing I'm wondering, and that's I'm still trying to get the colors together. This is DMC. Whether the colors are distinct enough from this color, and whether that would come out nicely. For instance, this leaf, I have to figure out if that would blend in okay or whether I would need to get different colors. So I expect to stitch this beautiful table runner on this gifted table runner. And again, that is just the kindest thing. Because it's so lovely to know that you see me saying, "Oh, I like this pattern, I'd like to stitch this," and that you go through your stash and think, "Oh, I've got this one," and then send it to me. That's the kindest thing. And like I said, this is good quality, a good quality table runner. So thank you very much. And this will be beautifully stitched up. And I'm going to try and fit this specific pattern on it. Because I think this is beautiful. Very pretty. It's not flowers so much, but it is plants. So that was very nice. But then she put a gift in the gift that was wrapped up, and she said, "You can open this on the 5th of December." Now we celebrate Sinterklaas on the 5th of December, which is a gift where we give presents to one another. And she said, "That's when you can open it." So I left it under one of my Christmas trees, and I couldn't open it. And my mum, I think, was very surprised that I didn't open it before. Because when I said on the 5th of December, I texted her and I said, "I can finally open that present." And she said, "You still haven't opened it?" I said, "No, I have not." Anyway, I found the kindest gift. It is a hand-stitched pillow, and it is stitched on linen. I'm in awe of that, and it's so neat with white. So that's just ridiculous. So pretty. This, I think I saw it recently. It's an Erica Michaels pattern, I think. Um, and it's so pretty. Vrolijk Kerstfeest is Dutch for Happy Christmas. It's perfect, perfect spelling. So that's lovely. There's a little bit of beading on there. And the finish of this, I need to learn how to do this because it comes out so beautifully. Yeah, I couldn't do this. I couldn't stitch on the linen. I can't stitch this neatly with white. Never done beading. Can't finish a pillow this pretty. So yeah, this is a gift to receive that, it's just lovely, lovely. So pretty. It's a lovely pattern, by the way. So that was very kind. And then there was even a little ornament, which again stitched on the same color linen with white. And a lovely little finish. I love the size of this as well. It's a perfect ornament for a smaller tree because I don't have very big trees. So again, this is just so sweet. So thank you so much, Linda. There was no need, but this is absolutely lovely. And it is cherished to have pieces like this handmade by obviously a very, very experienced stitcher. So yeah, I love that. Thank you. Let me do a giveaway. Because again, we're nearly at 3,000 and that deserves celebrating. But this is not a giveaway from me, I'll be honest. This is a giveaway from my mum and a little bit from my sister-in-law because my mum gave it to my sister-in-law who also stitches or did in the past. And she started it but then didn't really enjoy it as much because she's busy with many things. And anyway, so she's not stitching it, and then they decided that I could give it away to one of you. So this is a kit. There's only about 6 stitches on this started. That's it. And this is a kit from Vervaco, and it has 3 pieces in it. And it has the fabric, it has the pattern, and it has the floss. And it's just lovely. It's quite summery, if you will, sort of garden scenes. Very, very sweet. So let's put the word garden in the comment if you would like to win this. Don't put words like win or give away. Just put the word garden and I know that you are interested. I do ship everywhere. I don't really, I don't mind where you're from. You can all enter. I do ask you to subscribe. I think that is, um, I would appreciate if you would do that. So that's 3 pieces. You get all 3 of those. And they have, I think, 18 count Ada. So this is what my sister-in-law started. It's only a little bit. But you get 3 of these pieces of 18 count Ada. Like I said, there's a paper pattern in this, but it's clear enough. I think Vavaco is quite all right. And then it has the floss that goes with it. So it's like this. So all of that as a giveaway to one of the viewers as a thank you as well for watching and engaging with my Flosstube, for being kind as well. I recently spoke about a colleague about my Flosstube, and I said I've never had an unkind comment. And that's unique, isn't it? In the world of online everything, people are so easy to be unkind or say something, you know, anonymously. And yeah, and I've never had that, so that's quite unique. So that's put the word garden in your comments, and next time I will share the winner. I've got 2 more things, so I'm working towards the end of this video. Thrifting. I went thrifting this morning. I love that. I have a few shops nearby that I just pop in and see what they have. And I saw the best thing. I'm still considering going back and getting it. It was very old, sort of very good quality wood. And it was, I think, just a meter, 1.2 meters, I think. And it had it's sort of a stand that you can put in a corner. It had a circle frame on it, quite big, and there was a stitched piece inside of it. And I thought that is gorgeous. And it's so unique to have something like that. It's a beautiful stand to put a Christmas piece on. And they had a hat on it as well, sort of like this is a hat stand. I don't know if it is. It looked like just a stand that you could put in a corner and then have that gorgeous stitched piece sort of there. And I thought, oh, I would love to buy that, but it is 125 euros. And I thought that's a bit much. And I thought that is a bit much. But yeah, I'll do a bit of research on that. And I just thought it was so unique. Yeah, so I might go back. I might go back. We'll see. We'll see. I found this piece of fabric. I think it's a 14 count Ada. I don't stitch much on 14 count, but this one has beautiful glitters in it. Can you see that? It's beautiful gold glitter. So that would be lovely for some Christmassy stitching. So I decided to get it anyway, even though it is a 14 count, and see what I can do with that. Because that's just pretty, isn't it? Look at it. Can you see it? It's quite a big piece as well. But there you go. I thrifted that. Ada, good quality Ada. It feels good. Doesn't feel too stiff. And I don't mind Ada being a bit stiff. I like Ada because of that, because I stitch in hand. Then I found this bag of floss for €1. And it has some DMC that I know for definite are DMC, and then a lot of these sort of pulled together skeins with a lot of colors in there. And they look like DMC. So all I have to do is match these with my color book, my DMC color book, and then I can put them on bobbins basically. But these look very, very nice, and there's a lot of floss on these. I think I have about 3 or 4 of these skeins with all of this together. And then I found these as well, and these usually are DMCs as well. And if you find it like this, don't be fooled by the way this looks, because this looks very old. Often when I find it like this, it's from a kit, and usually they've used DMC. And this is sold for barely anything because they usually think that this is not worth anything because it looks like this. But I am pretty sure that this is DMC and that I can just bobbinate it and use it. So that's a great find as well. I think this was €2 or something in total, and you have plenty of colors that have more than one skein. Like this blue, for instance, and that blue are more than one skein of that color. So that was lovely thrifting again. I love doing that. And I also love when I'm stitching to have some of the old threads, you know, knowing that I put it to good use and that I like that. And then I found this tiny little frame. Well, it's not a little frame, but it's a big frame with 4 tiny um, things that I can frame. And I'd been looking for something like this because I think Shannon Christine, but then also someone else on Etsy has these tiny little Christmas stitches. And I'd already thought, I would love to stitch that, but what am I going to do with it? And I saw this and I thought, that's what I'm going to do with it. I'm going to put them in here. That's just perfect. And you could easily frame that on there. And I thought that was lovely. It's in good quality. It's grey, so that's nice for a frame. So I was very pleased to find this. It's 5 by 5, I think, so it's really, really tiny. If I stitch those little ones on a 20 count, 1 strand, it will fit in here, I'm pretty sure. So things like this, 80 cents I paid for this. And that's the good part of thrifting, isn't it? Then we'll go to my very final thing, and that's good because it's 1 hour and 13 minutes. And I have been rushing through, so I'm sorry, it's been a lot. And there's so much to watch, isn't there? And I haven't even told you about the fact that I went to the Jingle Ball. And because my time obviously is very different to the Jingle Ball, you can't really enjoy all of it. And I wasn't feeling well, so I didn't do a lot. I didn't actively engage in anything because I wasn't feeling great. But I did listen in to some of the tables. I watched a lot of the entertainment in the main room. So yeah, I did enjoy that. And I hope next time I can be a bit more engaging and feel better. Um, right, when I watched Welcome Stitchery, love that channel. The best thing I love about that channel is that they have so many people stitching for the shop that you can often see great finishes. You get great ideas for finishes. And someone had stitched this, and I fell in love with it. I'd looked at this several times. Well, actually, many times. It's been in my basket many times, and each time I thought, no, I'm not going to stitch that yet. Let's wait. But I saw how they used all 3 of these pieces and stitch them not as pillows, but on top of each other on one piece of fabric. And I thought that's it. That's what I'm doing. So there is Hope. The greatest of these is Hope. I love Hope. I love this one. And I think this is the prettiest one, which is Faith. So I will stitch these on top of one another on one piece of fabric. And I think I've chosen sort of blank fabric, 20 count. I'll be stitching this with 20 count. Now the colors on this are yellow and blue. Those are not my kind of colors. So I decided to look through my stuff and look for the right colors. And I realized that I, at some point, had started a historische stiekmuster piece, Spring, decided it was not the right fabric, discontinued it, and put the floss away for a bit, thinking I'm going to restart that at some point. Now, I still hope to do that. But for now, I will be using the colors for this. So this, like I said, is blue, yellow, and light blue. So it's two blues and a yellow. Same for all these pieces. And I will be using my palette, which is, let's see if I can do this. Greens, red, pink, salmon-y colors. And I think that is stunning. And that piece will be beautiful. Another piece I would want to frame. So yeah, I will be stitching this. This is Soie d'Orgel. So I will be stitching this with a silk, which I think is, I think it's worth it. It's worth stitching this with silk. Why not? It's very, very pretty. So I leave it silk with one strand of floss. And yeah, if you're interested in these colors, let me know. I can put the numbers down for you in the comments section or in an email if you send me an email. And I am using this lovely little bag that I once made with my sewing bag. And I've never shown you this, but one of you contacted me and said, "Why don't you make little toggles for your for this?" And I made the little toggles, and I think they're so cute. You can make this by hand. You don't need a machine, and they make the bag so lovely. See, I'm saying lovely again. Isn't that cute? So yeah, thanks again for that suggestion. It's all those little things, isn't it? Makes the bag so pretty. And it's not perfect sewing at all, but it's turned out really nice. So I'll be using that to store these colors. And then I will be starting this piece, I think, on Christmas Day. So I'll be at my parents' house. And yeah, I think this is a beautiful piece to start on Christmas Day. And I look forward to stitching this. I can't wait, actually. I cannot wait. And as you know, I'm terrible with plans, so I might just start it tonight. That's how I do things. Right, that's it. That's all my stuff. That's everything. I've loved it. I've really enjoyed chatting to you and showing you all my progress and showing you all my stitchy things. And isn't it a blessing to be a part of this, to be able to do this, to enjoy each other's progress and each other's stitching? It's just great fun. So thank you very much for spending your time on my Flosstube. There's a lot coming out at the moment. So yeah, that's how it goes, isn't it? I don't know if I might be doing a finish parade. Been thinking about that. The other option I thought of is talking you through my stash. And that's mainly because quite a lot of you keep saying that I have so many different kinds of patterns and new designers that you've never heard of. And so I thought, why don't I just grab my stash of patterns and just go through it so you can see that. So I might do that, something like that. But we'll see what I'm in the mood for around Christmas time. I won't do a whip parade at this time. There's a lot of people putting out whip parades, so I think we have enough. And I might do it sort of later, uh, early next year or something. So yeah, there will be a whip parade at some point, just not around Christmas, I think. So that's that. Thank you very much for watching. I do appreciate it. Give me a like, leave me a comment. I love the comments. So if you've enjoyed what you've seen, I'd love to hear it. If you have any tips or advice, I'd love to hear that too. And I wish you an absolutely lovely Advent. And yeah, enjoy this season. It's a beautiful season, so I hope you enjoy it. And I will see you next time. Thank you.